My name is Tanya Curry, and this is this week's Acumen Media Report, entitled Boss Moves, Shuffling and Murder on the Dance Floor, the South African Cabinet. Have I got good news for you? It's been an incredible week, South Africa, a week where we saw the polar opposites in our government come together as electorate forces our country to work together. It's Friday. I want to keep it light, so let's begin with our new sports minister, Gayton McKenzie. Gayton, the darling of social media, has had us smiling all week.
Dear Master Mackenzie, congratulations on becoming the new Minister of Sports of South Africa.
He's so excited with his new post, isn't he? He's like a kid on the morning of his birthday. It's very cute to watch. My favourite part of the week was when he was sworn in as Minister of Sport. He took his oath and then Judge Zondo asked him to sit down to sign his promise to the nation. Gayton said, "The last time a judge told me to sit, I got 10 years.
You take a seat.
The last time a judge asked me to sit, he made me sit for 10 years.
Sign here.
The crowd and social media roared with laughter. Since then, Gayton has been enthusiastically tweeting how he is officially on diet because no one wants a big sports minister. He said that spinning should become a national sport.
Spinning and stands is not a crime, and you're going to see. I'm so excited because I promised that spinning shall be recognized.
He's jogging in the morning and maybe joining Tumi Soul. He will build swimming pools in all schools in the first 100 days of his tenure. Gayton, you biscuit. Thanks for making my week. Who would have thought an ex-con in government could make us so proud? SA Cabinet. The swearing-in ceremony had huge highlights. Uncle Pizzaface Gwere Mantashe bundled through the oath up to the bit where it says that he will not disclose any state secrets.
All other laws of the Republic, and I undertake to hold my office as minister with honor and dignity, to be a true and faithful counsellor, not to divulge directly or indirectly
There's a problem, President. There's a problem.
any secret matters entrusted to me, and to perform the function of my office conscientiously and to the best of my ability.
Gwede said, without any attempt to change it, that he would share state secrets. Judge Zondo turned to Cyril and said, "If there are any leaks, you know who they're from."
If there are any leaks, you will know.
It was meant to be funny, but it was exactly what it was, the SA Cabinet. And then there was a boss move by the Pres with Steenhuisen. He's not the Deputy President, he's the new Minister of Agriculture.
The Minister of Agriculture is John Steenhuisen.
It's a boss move because Jumping John's deputy, Zwanele, is obsessed with land reform. That should keep the two of them busy. A not-so-boss move was putting Angie Motshekga in charge of our defence force.
I'm not sure I've heard all the criticism, and I must tell you, even when I was appointed as minister way back in 2009, lots of things were being said. So it's part of the space, part of the terrain, and what would, with time, then one proves themselves. So you really don't respond to things that you really don't know where they come from. So
she's commonly referred to as Minister 30% because of the shocking pass rate that she uses as a benchmark for our education system. So it's fine to miss the target 70% of the time. And then get this, her deputy is General Bantu Alamisa from the UDM. Bantu, within 24 hours of his position announcement, lamented that there was not enough money.
That the budget cuts has affected the ability of the defense to declare that they are in a state of readiness. So that is the first phase which we must focus on, especially that the crime is increasing within the country.
Can I ask why the press plays with our military like this? Make it make sense. Here's another clanger. Remember the Life Esidimeni tragedy? That dreadful time when a commission of inquiry confirmed that 144 mental health care patients were dead due to neglect, and 1,418 others were exposed to torture, trauma, and poor health outcomes? If you watch this case unfold and remember it vividly, like I do, then you'll remember the Minister of Health on his knees at the commission begging for forgiveness.
How people were bundled in vans and tied with sheets, and how they were chosen, like, as he described it, like cattle at an auction.
That, my friends, was Aaron Motsoaledi, and today he is again our Minister of Health. Cry the beloved country. Another boss move was Freedom Front Plus's Groenewald is the Minister of Correctional Services. That's so cool, right? Imagine if Jacob is sent down again. This time Ubaba would actually go to jail. Boss move. To be fair, most of the ministers struggled reading the oath or affirmation. One of the funniest moments was when Penny Mojadina, the woman who dresses like a Brazilian carnival, took her oath or affirmation in isiXhosa. She was pleased with herself with her beanie on her head. Sadly for Penny, but for our entertainment, there was no oath or affirmation in writing in Xhosa. So Penny had to read it again, this time in English. It was then made abundantly clear the reason that Penny chose isiXhosa was because she can't pronounce conscientiously.
And to perform the functions of my office conscientiously, okay? And the best of my ability. Conscientiously.
We'll get it right. We'll get it right. We'll get it right. Conscientiously.
Conscientiously.
Yes.
Conscientiously.
Yes. Okay.
And the poor love had to be coached by Zondo. Social media said it plain and clear. English never loved us. SA Cabinet. All in all, 77 members have joined our bloated cabinet, as the promise to trim the fat certainly didn't meet expectation. But we breathe this collective sigh of relief that the cabinet was appointed and all media turned to Gauteng's provincial government of provincial unity, a GAPU, if you will. The DA, led by Zilla, was frothing. Zilla was marching up and down, huffing and puffing about how this process was sending the country to the dogs. Well, you can imagine how that went down. Like the Hindenburg. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with her? Headlines across platforms read, Helen called us dogs. So after another hissy fit, the DA left the room in Gauteng. Their walkout had zero impact, as the ANC made up the balance of the position with others, more amenable parties. Rapu.
So when they withdrew the document, we were already at an advanced stage of consulting with other political parties.
I ask again, why is Helen here? Why is Helen in Gauteng? Is she lost? The clue should be the missing mountain, Helen. You're out of your depth and your greed is unabated. Regardless of their loss, the DA addressed the nation as if they were the incumbent leading party. We didn't listen. We got on with it. Not a boss move. And what of MK, you ask of me? Well, there's some serious shuffling going on. The SG, the Secretary General Zwane, resigned with immediate effect, citing that the position in MK interfered with his business interests. We all know what that means. It almost feels like MK turned up, won the election, specifically KZN, and then didn't stop partying. They forgot to turn up for work. No presence in the election results, none at the cabinet announcement, and now nothing in the provincial cabinets. Why are they here? Well, they're not here. They should take Helen along for a guided tour through the Kalahari. I mean, seriously, peel me an olive. Outside of politics, there are two tremors in Josie. We don't even talk about them anymore. We have shuffling to do even if the dance floor is crumbling. Water, now Carnival Mojadina's profile, is the top of any citizen's agenda, and amongst all the shuffling like a chain gang, we are tied to a carnival waiting for the taps to drip. Then, and probably because of all the electricity we've been enjoying under Ramaphosa, there is a 200 Rand surcharge for prepaid meters in Gauteng.
Prepaid meters will face a new recurring fee of 200 Rand for the network and service charges per month. This charge will apply to all customers except those registered as indigent earning below 6,000 Rand per month. The general manager.
It is not for electricity. It's just a top-up for Eskom from the SAATM. Cash cows for hungry dogs. Ramaphosa is now also in charge of Transnet. We got 77 ministers and only one for transport and power. Speaks volumes. And then this. The state withdrew all charges against Jub. How did that even happen? I'm confused. Are you? We'll have to wait for the story to unravel too.
I feel relieved. You know, the truth always prevails, and I'm just happy that it's finally over. I can get my life back. I mean, it's been a year of hell. I've lost out on a lot. I lost a lot of money, lost a lot of time, lost a lot of respect. I was called all sorts of names. But I'm happy that, you know, my family, my legal team, everybody carried me throughout. So I'm happy.
There were two other horrifying stories across our timeline. The first was Luvuyo Mpwaza, the 19-year-old terror who beat his grandmother to the floor for no reason whatsoever. This viral and mob justice took hold. He begged to be arrested, and he was. Now over to you, Paulsmoor Prison. Deal with him as you do. The second story is unbelievable, the stuff of nightmares. The story is still unfolding, so the details are not completely confirmed. But Junior Mabandla's 6-year-old burnt body was found buried in a shallow grave. Beneath his tiny body was another child's lifeless body. The cousin to Junior, Peaceful. She was 3 years old, also burnt. The perpetrator is apparently known to the family, and when the kids went missing a month apart, the family suspected a member of their inner circle. Enter kangaroo court and mob justice, as it should, and I feel sick. What are we doing to our kids? As the Minister of Social Development, Tulashi, takes to the helm after Zulu is pushed out, we have to demand more from our leaders. Save our kids. Let me round up South Africa with good news. There is an HIV injection that has successfully passed trials and changes lives across the world. 2 shots per year, that's it? And that's all it takes to keep you protected. That's our South Africa for you. Why isn't this the top story? What good news is this, my friends? Incredible. Across international media, the weather showed us the fury of our planet. Hurricane Beryl tore chunks out of the Caribbean. Storms flooded Europe. Trees were torn by freak winds. Tornadoes started in parking lots, giving some writers something to write about. It's insane the weather we are experiencing. There were some brutal videos of Biden debating against Trump. Finally, America is warming up to the idea that Joe may need to go.
Both hours, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
I despise Joe Biden, but I watched that debate and I saw an old man being tortured on a stage. His wife, Jill, came out after the debate and said, "Well done, Joe. You answered all the questions and everything."
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the
Like he was a 3-year-old in a spelling bee. It was ridiculous and it was cruel. Shuffling off the stage, Joe admitted that it wasn't his best speech and that he was not getting any younger.
As easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know.
Enter Kamala, finally, but Joe apparently is defiant and staying put. Yo, America, what are you doing? We are the people with the numpties like Zuma et al. You're meant to be the superpower. Get it together. We're watching America implode live on TV, and the worst bit, the Americans are struggling to see it. They're like robots, programmed, compliant, and complicit. A new law was passed that basically says if the President of the USA is doing anything on duty, he can't be charged with the law at all.
Today's Supreme Court decision on presidential immunity, that fundamentally changed. For all practical purposes, today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent, because the power of the office will no longer be constrained by the law, even including the Supreme Court of the United States.
You go back and listen to that again. Trump has heard that, and he smiled. Thank goodness, you've made it, my listener. And I didn't even mention Hokuto. If you know, you know. You're not hearing it from me. I'm getting on a boat as fast as my fins can carry me. It's cold in Sodwana Bay, 25 degrees. See you under the surface now. And that we scratched it with Acumen Media. Done.